Hey, welcome in. Well, I can't say I'm surprised to see what's happening. Here's the headline: The end of conservative books. Amazon quietly bans books they deem offensive and hate speech. Well, a lot of people believed that if Biden became president, there was going to be an acceleration of this. The tech companies obviously were all in for Biden. Obviously, I mean, hiding the New York Post story. Most Democrats had no idea about that story, about the Hunter Biden and the China controversy, Bobulinski. They had no idea because it was hidden from them by big tech. They got their guy in, and, I think the idea was they'll just have free reign. Not that the Republicans or conservatives in any country have really done anything to fight back. I mean, a little bit in Australia, I guess, but it seems they kind of bent the knee pretty quick, too. But in any case, I mean, we knew there'd be an acceleration of this kind of stuff, and of course there is. Let's get into the story. Conservatives are sounding the alarm about an updated Amazon policy that bans books the ubiquitous billion-dollar company deems offensive or includes so-called hate speech. And of course, hate speech is just whatever Amazon thinks is hate speech, right? Whatever they call hate speech is hate speech from now on, and you don't have a say. Just going to interrupt for 1 second to say, if you like this content, subscribe so you can see more. Thanks a lot. But anyway, Amazon ramped up its censorship on conservative views in recent weeks. For example, a popular documentary on U.S. Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas was banned from their streaming service this past week. Well, he must have that multiracial whiteness thing. I've done a couple of videos on that. It's actually a very convenient way of being racist and Marxist at the same time. Maybe the best way. And the fact that it's ludicrous, that just makes it all the better. But anyway, so they've banned a documentary on Clarence Thomas. Okay. Let's see. Before that move, the company deplatformed conservative Ryan Anderson's book on critical gender theory. Quote, When Harry Became Sally. Responding to the transgender movement. There's a lot of questions about the transgender movement which need to be talked about, which need to be discussed, particularly around the issue of puberty blockers for children, which, unless you are just completely idealistic, this is a minefield, a moral minefield. I mean, whenever you're talking about artificially changing children's bodies, before their brains are properly developed, before their bodies are properly developed, that's something that you need to talk about. I'm sorry. But apparently Amazon doesn't want you to have that conversation. And they're doing their best to make sure that you can't. And this is a result of just the constant, gradual encroachment of what I see as far leftist ideas. Where every time they get rid of the fringe, well, there's a new fringe. Now that's hate speech. You get rid of that, what wasn't hate speech yesterday is now hate speech. Because that's now the fringe. And yeah, that's what we're seeing here. And is it something intentional? Maybe. Could just be something that's emergent from the radical leftist ideology as well. Who knows? Either way, the result is the same. Very, very important issues that just don't get, can't be discussed. And whether it's intentional or just, something that's emergent, it doesn't really matter as far as I see it. Let's see. When Just the News reached out to Amazon over the ban on Anderson's book, the outlet said the company directed them to a page outlining their, quote, content guidelines for books. Under a section labeled offensive content, Amazon states that they, quote, don't sell certain content, including content that we, that's Amazon, determine is hate speech. Not the people that you've elected, this company. It says, a review of these policies suggests that sometime in the last few months, Amazon made a major change to the ways in which it moderates book content on its servers, imposing a much stricter standard on books than it had previously done. It appears the company recently added so-called hate speech to their guidelines on book platforming and is amping up their censorship of the offensive. And again, the offensive is just what Amazon decides. And that, of course, includes, there are groups you can discriminate against and groups that you can't, right? One is offensive, one isn't. One is hate, one isn't. And they're not asking you for your opinion, right? They're Amazon, right? Your rights and freedoms come from Amazon. Did you think they came from somewhere else? Well, you were wrong. Or at least that's what Amazon thinks. Let's see. Matt Walsh said, if Amazon decides to label conservative books hate speech, that's effectively the end of conservative books. So, I mean, what is hate speech to Amazon? Would Amazon think that, say, border security is hate speech? Talking about the need for border security? Is that hate speech? Well, they can just decide that. Who's going to stop them? All you can do is not buy stuff from Amazon. But they're so big, would that even matter at this point? And then, of course, quote, publishers won't bother publishing books that can't be sold on Amazon. This is a hugely important issue. I don't think it's getting all the attention it deserves. Well, it won't. Mainstream media is not going to worry about this. They're going to approve of it. They want Amazon to decide what you can and can't hear. But anyway, we knew all this stuff was going to ramp up. I mean, you had Parler. The Parler ban opens a new front in the free speech wars. They took Parler down, no problem. 20 million people on that platform. So what? We don't like them. Gone. Well, they're back, but there's no denying that they've been damaged badly. Badly. And of course they're going to go after them again. I mean, look at Minds. Here's another non-big tech social media platform. Minds cuts major features from Play Store app version after Google threatened to deplatform it. Let's see. What do Minds and Parler have in common? Oh, yeah, they're not part of the big tech oligarchy. And because they're not part of that, well, they're unsafe. People are saying things that are unsafe on there, that are offensive. Can you believe that? See, what else do we have? A conservative #walkaway Facebook page removed along with hundreds of thousands of videos and followers. Yep, just gone. I mean, this is a drop in the bucket. Let me tell you, a lot of YouTube channels like my own have been just totally crushed by YouTube ever since the election. It sounds like to me like it's almost just across the board, which is a great reason to follow people like me and other people on YouTube that you might follow, like Styx Hexenhammer or the Lotus Eaters or Computing Forever on alt tech, right? Alt tech like Rumble, Odyssey, BitChute. I'm on all of those. I'm also on Minds and Parler too. Those are all great places. And the more people that go to them, the more difficult it is to cancel them. And anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Please subscribe, like, and share. That really helps me out. If you'd just like to listen, there's the podcast Radio Baloney. It's on pretty much every platform. If you look for it, you will find it. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.